Phase 10. I'm so happy we've come this far, and I really have to congratulate you for getting this far. I know it's not been easy. This is programming, this is coding, this is app development. I'm happy you've come this far. Um, from the beginning, we've covered different subjects from how to download Xcode to basics of Swift, how to use Xcode, basic button clicks, launching a new screen, saving data, retrieving data, pods, extensions, saving images, loading images. We've gone through all these things and we did them in a very, very, very modulated way by creating is almost a separate app for each of these concepts. Like the time we created a screen for saving data, saving images, food ordering app, cloud storage, camera and weights, banking, table views. All each of these chapters encapsulated different concepts that I try to put it in a way that you can grasp the concept very easily and remember them. They are all in the storyboards and view controllers, so you can always come back to them and check. Um, so in this phase 10, we're going to be diving into the money aspect. We have to make money. We're making apps, we're spending time, we have to make money when the app goes into the store. So I'm going to be diving into some tried and tested ways of making apps. These I have tried myself and they worked, so I'm sharing these tips with you. Um, so uh, let's dive in. But before we dive into the PowerPoints, I am going to share some final notes with you. And let's go straight into that. So the first thing is how to access your app file. This is the file that you're going to upload to the App Store eventually when your app is done. So in your project, to find this file, just under your project file, in this case we are dealing with seed. Yeah, there is a folder called products. Expand that folder and you will see a file called seed.app. In whatever app you're making, it's going to say that app name .app. So this is the file you can upload to the App Store. If you want to access this file from your file system, simply right click on it and click show in Finder, and it's going to open up in your Finder app. That is your file system. So this is how you access the app. This is the app itself. This whole thing is the project, and this is the generated app file. So this is how you access it under products. And then when you're done with building your app, you can sign up for a developer account if you haven't already on developer.apple.com. And then from there, you also distribute your app. That's where you fill out the forms, submit the app for review, and then Apple gets back to you, and then your app is live on the store. So it's from this website, developer.apple.com. That's where you do it from. Um, the next thing I want to touch is, over this course, I have talked about how to use things other people have created in your own projects, to save time and to make your projects more beautiful. So I want to share these final four GitHub projects. I think they're cool, and I think they would expand the knowledge of what you already have. Regardless of this, you can always search something when you're about to embark on a very big new project. It's always good to think about all the components that make up that project and do a quick Google search for that thing. You know, find libraries that would help you, build that thing even better. So the first library I want to touch is something we've touched before, is the files library. Files, the files library helps you process files very easily. It helps you do things like copy, delete, create folders, um, and all these, very, very essential operations you can do on a file system. By default, iOS's file system or the APIs to access the file system are not so friendly. So this project, this library helps you really deal with files very easily. You can create file, you can write file, delete file. It's very swift using this library. You probably have already downloaded this library before because the TinyDB project we've been using in our project came with it. So this is the TinyDB, and if you remember when I made you download this TinyDB, I also made you download files because TinyDB uses files internally. And again, I recommend when you use these projects, if you can, go through the code and see what you can learn. Um, there is always something new to learn, a new technique, there is always something new. So this files is the first project I recommend you have in your arsenal. The next one is Swift Button. Swift Button is a library that you know makes buttons more fancy. Um, by default, the buttons we have on iOS are not so, they don't have bells and whistles. This library puts bells and whistles on your buttons. So as you can see, this is a custom button that this library offers. I think they look cool. They look modern and cool. So check them out. This is how you can use libraries to beautify your app. Another library I want to show you is also a button library. It's called LG Button. As you can see, this one is just another fancy library for creating buttons. It gives you all these customization options for buttons. Um, so check them out if they appeal to you. They help your app look even more beautiful. Um, then the next library I want to show you is a library for playing sounds in your app. So let's say you created a voice memo app, an app that records voice and displays them in a list, kind of like a note-taking app but with voices. You can easily use this library to play those sounds. Sound.play. It's really that simple. Sound.play file URL. It's really that simple. Um, Sound.stop. So it's a very swift way to play sounds on iOS. Um, to give you a quick sneak peek of what it's like, so this is what it's like to play this. I mean, to do this using the API Apple provided by default. As you can see, it's a lot, but libraries like this make it so easy for you to just do all this in one line of code. So that's why it's good to not reinvent the wheel sometimes and just use libraries. Um, so this is the Swifty sound. That's what it's called, Swift sound. Yeah, Swifty sound. So check it out, and then you know all these things. I recommend you keep practicing. That's the only way you are going to remember these stuff, and that's the only way that they will stick to your brain. When learning a new skill, it's good to practice them in a way that they become part of the network in your brain, not something that is temporal. You want your brain to form new neurons based on these concepts. So, and that happens by practice. It happens by practice. Happens by practice. So, speaking on practice, if you remember at the beginning of this course, I told you it's very important to have an idea of your own. That was all the way at the beginning. Where is it? Yeah, this is it. I told you it's very important to have an idea of your own because this idea is what's going to drive you forward when things get hard. So, whatever that your idea is, I hope you still have it clear in your mind. Um, I want you to start off working on that idea as I want you to start off working on that idea as your screen 9. Let that be let that be the extension you add on top of this app, on top of what we've already done. We've done saving data, saving images, food order app, cloud storage, camera and weights, banking and table views, advanced table views. So I believe this is enough to get you started, to bounce into any kind of idea you want. And feel free to do some Googling when you get stuck. Feel free to search on GitHub, see example projects, see libraries, look into them. So let's screen 9 be let it be your let it be your big idea, that big idea you noted down when we were in phase one. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to now dive into the 10 ways to make money from apps. Okay, this is the exciting part. uh, so let's dive in. So like I said, these are tested and proven ways that I'm going to share with you. These are very golden, so remember them and take advantage of all these tips. Um, so the first way to make money from apps, as you can see, is through in-app purchases. There are four main ways. Both this applies to both Android and iPhone. Um, they all offer in-app purchases, subscriptions, pay to download, and direct payments. In-app purchases is the things you buy inside an app after you've downloaded the app. When you can, for example, repeatedly buy, uh, let's say, a booster for your car or something, and you can buy that as many times as you want. Those are in-app purchases. Subscriptions are recurring, fresh content. So when you make your users pay for things that keep on coming. For example, I'm sure you have a subscription in your life, maybe your phone bill. So you can also offer users subscriptions, and people make more money when they can find a way to offer their developers make more money when they can find a way to offer their users subscriptions. Um, oh, by the way, I arranged this based on how popular and how 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 much they are used in the wild. That means in-app purchases are used this much, subscriptions are used this much, pay to download are used this much. So they are really very they feel good in the pocket. This is how much money they can put in your pocket. As you can see, when you have subscription working, it's going to really bring a lot of money into your pocket, because it's kind of as if it's kind of like saying your customer last month is your customer next month again, and is going to continue being your customer for a very long time. So it's good when you can enable subscriptions. Pay to download is when, before you download an app, there is a price tag and you have to pay to download. I'm sure you've seen this in the App Store before. And then direct payments are when you directly collect credit card or debit card payments from your users. Now, this is a very small niche because of the rules surrounding direct payments. Um, a lot of times, the rules is that if the product you're offering is not used in the app, then you may offer direct payments. Um, but if the product you're offering is consumed in the app, then you must use in-app purchases. Otherwise, your app won't even be approved if you're trying to offer direct payment for something that is consumed in the app. So that's why this one is a small percentage, because it's a very small percentage of apps that offer this kind of product. So these are the four main funnels. I am going to dive into in-app purchases and show you different techniques, methods, ways of thinking, and how to's on implementing in-app purchases because they are really common, they're really popular, they make use developers a lot of money. So I'm going to dive deep into this and show you some techniques. So the first technique is by offering premium features. That could be special access, tools, themes. Imagine an app like okay, imagine a video editing app, a basic video editing app. You can go there, you can change the sound in your video. What if you want to apply a black and white effect to the video? That could be offered among the premium features of the app. So you can lock those features into the premium features. So that's what I mean by offering premium features. The next one is ad removal. A lot of times you see ads in your apps, and sometimes you as a developer can offer the user, hey, you can pay to get rid of this ad, and a lot of users are actually willing to pay maybe $1 or two, just to have a peaceful experience in the app. So offering this feature, a lot of people buys into it and makes you money. Um, just for you to disable the advertisements and give them a seamless experience. So this is a very good option if you can't think of any other way to monetize your app. Um, then the next one is extending time limits on something. Whatever your app offers, you can extend. Um, if your app offers something that deals with time in some kind of way, you can always extend that time. For example, imagine the video editing app again, whereby you limit how much the video or the portion of the video the user can edit. Um, so by limiting this, you are now on the other side giving the user an option to extend that limit, maybe from 30 seconds to 60 seconds for a price. Or you can even, to upsell the user, you can offer them an option to completely remove the time limit on the video. So, so this is a way to make money. Users are always willing to pay money to be limitless. So this is an option to remember if your app deals with time in any kind of way. There are other ways of thinking about this time thingy, like when a user, let's say, fails a level multiple times and you tell them, okay, you have to wait this certain amount of time before you can continue playing. You can give them the option to pay to not wait. So so time is something you can make money from if you implement it correctly. Buying boosters, this is another option that you can think about as you are creating your app. Boosters in this sense can mean something that can accelerate a user. Imagine a car racing game, and the user can pay to go to the next level if they can't pass that level. They can pay to get to the next level, or they can pay to have their car to be supercharged, kind of, you know, so that they can race and pass other users, or that they can race and not crash, or they can race, crash, and not die. So that's what I mean by boosters. You can offer users all these options. There are really no limits to what's possible in an app. So feel free to think crazy and see what sticks. So this is just an example with a car racing game. There are many options. There are different kinds of games you can try this on. Um, so yeah, that's buying boosters. So the next one is buying extra toys. By toys, I mean whatever your app offers. So for example, in the car racing game again, they can be offered the option to buy different kind of cars. You know, let's say a red car, the user might prefer a blue car. You can offer them the option to buy a blue car, or a silver car, or one with giant wheels, whatever. Extra toys. That's what I mean. If your app doesn't have to be a gaming app, but whatever your app offers, Imagine a piano app. You can offer the user a wooden piano app, a wooden piano set, or a metallic piano set, or an archaic themed piano, whatever. Offering them extra toys. People would always like options. That's what I mean by stickers. Depending on your app, you can offer something like stickers, different kind of stickers. Um, so yeah, basically different variants of whatever your app offers. Then I want to mention something. Games make more money than regular apps. That's gaming apps make more money than regular apps. This is because when people are playing games, their brains are on a different level. They want to win. They want to win. So they're always willing to invest in that mission to win. Um, this is why a lot of gaming apps are on the this is why a lot of good gaming apps that have mastered the craft of making users pay are always on the trending list of apps that are making money, because those apps, they've mastered it. So if you can copy the concepts of how games make money and bring them into your app, I mean, that's golden. That's golden. So, but in general, gaming apps make more money. That doesn't mean your app will make money, but um, their games are games. So try to learn from games and apply the same concepts to your apps. And that's pretty much what I'm going through in this slide. I'm teaching you these concepts, how they apply to games and how they apply to apps. So the next one is the choke technique. The choke technique is when a user downloads your app, your app is cool, they're enjoying your app, and then you allow them, you give them time to become one with your app, to flow with your app. Imagine a music playing app, a music player. So the user gets used to playing music on your app, listening to radio on your app, you know, and then it gets to the point where you feel like they've become comfortable with your app. Then you tell them, hey, it's time to upgrade. It's time to pay to continue using this app. You've used it this long, maybe a month. Now it's time to now it's time to show some love by paying for the app. Now, this technique not always works, but this technique brings in money because usually at this point the user will be like, yes, you're right, this app has helped me and I'm willing to pay. And also the user usually won't want to lose all their work. Don't want to lose everything they've created, the playlist of songs they've created. They don't want to lose it because of this new restriction. So they're always willing to pay that dollar or two to continue using the app forever. So oh, by the way, you have to let the user know somehow in the beginning that there will be a limit, or there is a limit, or that this is a trial. Otherwise, it's not fair. You have to let the user know, in the beginning, so that they can know what they're getting into. So that when this choking comes up, they'll be like, oh, yes, they told me that there will be a deadline. So, this is a technique that works. Personally, I've realized that if you offer users the option to voluntarily pay anytime, they almost never pay when you don't choke them at some point. So it's good to have if it works for you, it's good to have a format that forces the user to pay um when they've not forces, but offers the user the option to pay and continue using the app when they've used the app for a while. Now the next one is variants and themes. You can offer the user to pay to have a different theme. Imagine an app that the user uses a lot, and sometimes the user would like a fresh look. People love customization, so when you offer users a customization option for an app they already love and use a lot, they would very likely, be willing to buy, especially when the cost of paying for that new theme is not too much. You know, users love when you offer them that choice, and they are willing to, show some love by paying a little, by paying some money to get that theme. Um, and this doesn't have to be the app theme always. It could be the theme of what your app deals with. If this is a let me think. Uh, if this is a, let's say, a video conference app, you can offer the user the option to change the background of where you are, and then you can offer the user to pay for cool backgrounds. Let's say a desert background or a jungle background. You can offer the user to pay for even a background that is live, like a live jungle. So that means the app would make you look like you're in a jungle during the video calls. So this is an example of what I mean. The user can either go for the blank static background or the live one, but they now have to pay for that live jungle background. So this is what I mean by offering variants and themes. There is always a way to monetize your app if you think. Okay. Next is faster processing time. So people usually don't like wasting time. So when your app deals with something that is time consuming, and in code, you, the developer, know that you can make that thing faster. Sometimes you can let it be slow, but have the option to fasten it up if the user is willing to pay. This is used out there a lot by different companies. It's one way to make money if that's the only thing you can think about. It works. Um, so imagine a video processing app. The video is done applying all the filters, but now it has to build the video and save it. Sometimes this can take a couple of minutes. You can offer the user the option to do this maybe within 60 seconds, if that's possible. Or you can offer the user an option to automate something that the user would usually manually do. That's also a way to apply this technique, and then they have to pay for that automation. So yeah, next is watermarks. So I'm sure you've seen this, in videos and stuff, when you build a video in an app and then you see the name of the app at the bottom right corner. Those are called watermarks, and you can offer the user the option to remove the watermark for a price. Um, Usually, this almost, if your app is popular, this would generate you serious money. Um, and you really don't have to have a crazy idea. It's really whatever your app is doing and your app generates something. You can put a watermark of your app on the picture or video or whatever the app creates. Um, and then if the user feels like they don't want this, maybe when they're using that creation, they can get rid of the watermark by paying. Okay, so that's why I put these ones here, so you can see that they are annoying and users don't like them when they, obstruct the content. This is extreme, by the way. Usually you have a watermark at the bottom right. So users are sometimes willing to pay, and if you have a lot of users on your app, that means you can make a lot of money from people paying to remove watermarks. Now the next one is granting access to all toys. Remember when I talked about the meaning of toys? When I say toys, I don't mean toys. I mean in your app, whatever is the toy in your app. It could be a car, it could be a theme, it could be a picture, it could be a background, it could be anything. It could be anything. Whatever your app offers, um, you can offer the user, instead of buying, each one for like $1 or two, you can offer them, to buy 20 of them for $10. So that means if the lifespan of the user was if the lifespan of the user on your app was, let's say, a week, and within that week they will probably buy, two toys. That will be a total of $4. Before the end of the week, the user probably has deleted the app. So that means during this lifespan, you made only $4 from the user. But within the time the user is still on your app, you can upsell them by offering them a discount of all the toys in the app, which is around um, 20 toys in total. You can offer them the option to get all the toys for $10. So that means if the user, agrees to this and buys all the toys for $10, that means you, developer, you make $10 during this lifespan instead of the regular $4 you would normally make from the user buying only two toys during this week of their lifespan in your app. When I say lifespan, I mean the retention days before the user feels like they're done with your app and gets rid of it. So that's an upsell. This is business 101. um, so take advantage of this when you can. This is also why it's good to be creative in your apps. Think outside the box. Think of ways to offer users the chance to use things and create things. When you can create, that is infinite wealth, kind of. When you offer creativity, either in you creating the app or in your users using the app, if they can create, that brings infinite wealth. Um, so yeah, that's granting all access to toys. It gives you the chance to upsell your users. Um, the next one and the last one is creating a world inside your app. Um, this is another place where creativity really, really rewards the developer. So imagine you created a world, whereby in your app, users can create stuff and sell those stuff in the market in your app to other users. So the good thing and the financially beneficial thing about this method is the users create, other users in the app buy, then the creator, the creator gets credit for whatever the other users bought, and then you, the developer, get the actual cash. So that means if this guy created something and sold it for $2 in your app, this guy used his actual money, his card, to pay for what this user created. But that money he paid, eventually gets routed to your bank account by Apple or whatever company you published your app onto. And then the actual creator eventually gets credits in the app to buy from other users. So all the money that is coming to inside the app is going into your bank account while the users in the app are dealing with credits and actual cash coming in. So this is a very nice way to make money. This is the method many big companies are using. Um, so take advantage of it, but first you have to sit and think. You have to think creatively how to create a world with the idea you have at hand. When you can find a way to morph out a nice world that users would be willing to invest their time to create in, this is very financially rewarding. So um, take advantage of this and create. Usually in these kinds of creativity, you would probably need an internet connection and how to save data to the cloud and stuff. So take advantage of those resources. You already have them. Um, and make money and have fun. And with that said, I say thank you for choosing to learn from this studio, and thank you for sticking all to the end. I'm really happy that you've learned all this, and please, please, please share this course with a friend. You are lucky to have come across this course, so share this course with a friend. The link to sharing this course will be on the document. Um, it's going to be this link down here. So use this link to share the course, okay? Use this link to share the course with a friend, and they will thank you for life. That's how you should share the course, using this link. All right. And with that said, I say good night. Remember to keep working on the ideas you have in your mind and share the course. All right.